Welcome to the Fine Print, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Caleb Teskey, and today I'm joined by Ana and Josh MacDuff from Wells, Vermont, the owners of Mountain Girl Cannabis. Guys, thank you so much for being with me this morning.
Happy to be here.
Cool. So I don't know if you've seen any of the other interviews, but I like to start all my guests with a little segment I call 5-Minute Life Story, where you tell us a bit about your backgrounds.
Awesome. Ladies first.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, sure. So I was born in Colombia in South America, and my family slowly migrated to the US, starting when I was 3. My mother came here, and then my sisters, then my father, and eventually I came when I was 10. I grew up in Queens, New York. Fun times. And I came to Vermont for college, where I met the love of my life. We got married when we were 19. Fun fact. And I approached life just in the conventional path of looking, going to college to get a good job, seeing so many immigrants come to this country and struggle, work really hard to make very little money, college. And I chose tech, because I was chasing financial success. And after 10 years of doing that, I realized that it was draining for my soul to go somewhere and sit in front of a screen and do something that didn't impact anybody's life, really. So I kind of left, and with the support of my husband, I just realized that I needed to do something else. And we were kind of bouncing ideas about what we could do as a business. And, we talked about it all, restaurants, like all kinds of things. And then when we started talking about cannabis, we did not stop talking about cannabis, and we're still talking about it today. So that's kind of.
And what did you do? What did you do in college?
I did computer information systems.
Okay.
So I eventually got my master's in information technology.
Okay. Yeah, CIS. We had that at my college as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Josh, why don't you take a swing at it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in small town, Rutland County, Vermont. Son of a quarry worker. My dad raised me, and I went to Green Mountain College, where I met Ana. And I made it through a semester, and then the second semester I got actually kicked out for cannabis
Really?
and to sale. And that kind of forced my hand to the unconventional path, which, given my general personality at the time of, Mr. has a lot of fun, it probably actually grounded me a lot. So I spent 4 years in probation, and working at a slate quarry, just like my father did, and kind of learning the value of hard work and earning every bit of what you put into life. And thanks to Ana, she forced me to take night classes at college to get my degree and eventually get an office job. So when we were, I think, 22, 23, we bought our first house in Rutland City, which will be the future home of Mountain Girl Cannabis, is Rutland City. And I've just been working in the insurance industry, as well as I took a detour into banking. We have a lovely daughter that we had when we were 24. Her name's Olivia. And that's kind of it in a nutshell. And, I've been in the insurance industry about 10 years now, and gonna kind of continue to burn the candle at both ends for the time being, working my full-time job and helping support the business kind of on the back end of things.
Cool. I would like to talk more about the insurance later, but first I would like to, so you guys are trying to get a retail license, is that correct?
Yep.
And that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually we might do other things, manufacturing, but I think it's a small team, so we want to focus on doing something right, and retail is it for us.
Do you guys have any other employees?
Not yet. I mean, we will obviously when it comes time to it.
Sure.
But yeah, it's really Ana and I bootstrapping this. We've got some, small family and friend investors, but it's really just the two of us taking the bull by the horns.
It seems like a lot of people are bootstrapping this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. It gives me a good feeling of, a lot of self-starters and self-made people getting their start.
Interesting. Now, Ana, you told me just last night that English was not your first language, and that kind of caught me off guard because I never would have guessed that.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I mean, I learned English when I was 10 years old. So, my accent, I think it comes out with the more passionate I get about something.
All right. Well,
I think it comes out a little bit.
I can attest to that.
let's find something you're passionate about. We'll watch it develop here. Cool. So in the 7 days story, it says you guys cashed out your 401k and your savings for this. What are your thoughts on that? Are you worried at all? Are you nervous?
I mean, no. At the end of the day, like Josh mentioned, he's keeping his current day job, so we're okay.
Okay.
I cashed my own 401k. We still have Josh's as a backup, and yeah, we're using our savings. And just like Josh mentioned, we have a few close friends and family members who have invested in our business. And so I think the way I see it is we're betting on ourselves, and we're gonna give it all, and we are gonna plan for success. And if we fail, it will be a learning opportunity, and I'm okay starting fresh, so.
Right.
So you're prepared for success and for failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, fortunately enough, I have a job that is enough to pay the bills and provide the living that we need. And, I think I've never seen Ana set her mind to something and fail. So why would I think that this could happen now?
So is that mutual trust you've placed in each other? How long have you been married, by the way?
so
It'll be 16 years in September.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So right in college and the whole time.
Yeah. We
Wow.
got married at 19. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's amazing. A lot of those seem to not work out.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
guys.
when you're young and immature, it comes with its challenges, of course. But
Absolutely.
for me, I was forced into maturity at 19 as well. I mean, with getting arrested and having a conviction and having to do things kind of the wrong way, it really, kind of narrowed the focus and slowed me down.
What were the charges against you, if you don't mind me asking?
So it was possession with intent to deal over 6 ounces, and that I took a plea deal where I had to do 4 years of probation. I had to do some community service work, and I had to I think I had to do a drug treatment programs and things of that nature. And I did get my record expunged. So ultimately, those 4 years I was just on pause, and then I could kind of continue as though nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I've also had benefited from that legislation.
Yeah.
Wow. So Ana, so you're from Colombia. Josh, you've been arrested. So are you guys social equity applicants?
yes.
Yep.
I mean, we're primarily going off of my,
Right.
My heritage, but just because, like Josh said, his record was expunged, and there's no reason to kind of dig back into that past.
Right.
Oh, true. That's an interesting point. Yeah.
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 But being from Colombia, that qualifies you.
Yes.
Okay. And now, what is the status of your application? Have you got it in already?
We are pre-qualified. So we have our pre-qualification. Retail licenses are not, they're not going to be given out until October, the earliest.
September,
yeah.
So you've been approved for the pre-qual.
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. And so I've talked to a lot of people about this. Do you feel like it gives you any advantage doing the pre-qualification?
Yes. I mean, I think it gives you a sense that you're heading in the right direction, and that, you have a really good chance of success in terms of getting your full application. It helped us because now we're in the process of getting a bank account. Now that we have that letter, it helped us, so we're in that process. It makes us feel better about signing a lease in the building that we're going to be in. So yes, I think for somebody who's doing retail, pre-qualification is definitely an advantage to have.
As a risk averse insurance guy, it gave me mental clarity that I felt like this could move forward. then we could sign and start, committing funds to lease agreements, building improvements, security, that kind of thing.
So yeah, it's funny how
Well,
much a piece of paper can
true.
influence, how you feel about it.
No doubt. Yeah, I have a college degree. I know how that goes. Just a piece of paper, really.
That's right.
So let me ask you this, Josh. Are you insuring her business?
I will be insuring our business. Yeah, I mean, at some
Cool.
point, and I've been heavily involved in the cannabis insurance movement industry since the Farm Bill passed in 2018.
No kidding. So you have a number of other clients around the state as well.
Yeah, we've done a really good job of getting my name out there and becoming a trusted source for cannabis insurance.
Now, so that they don't consider that a conflict of interest at all if you're insuring a business owned by your wife.
No, I mean, there's if it ever came down to it, obviously I would assign. I mean, I don't need to get paid the menial commission on my account, so I would just assign it to a friend, coworker, and move on from that point. I mean, I don't believe there's too much of a conflict there.
Sure. How big is your insurance firm? Do you have a number of employees there?
Yeah, so I work for a firm, Kinney Pike Insurance, and in the state of Vermont, we've got, I believe, 70 employees over five offices. But I kind of spearhead the cannabis portion myself with help from some great service staff. Yeah.
Okay, I want to come back to that a little bit later, but Ana, I wanted to ask you. I hate to do it, but I creeped through your Instagram a little bit because I didn't know a whole lot about you. Most other people I've got to meet first and sort of chat with. So I went through your Instagram. I was just looking at some of the products that you were lining up. I was wondering if maybe you could tell us some of the other cultivators and extractors that you might be working with when retail goes live in October.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're still in conversations with a lot of great people. We're thankful to the Vermont Cannabis Solutions law firm because they've put together the networking events, and that's primarily where we have talked to people, from small cultivators like Life Arises Farm. They're great people. And then to
Elliot.
hired, and Darby.
Yeah, okay.
We're talking to Forbins, Angela and Nick. They have really good quality flour.
Yeah, they do.
Market for that. And so we're talking to people up north, but I think now, especially since Josh is in the insurance, that gives us a lot of connection. So we're lucky to be talking to people that are closer to us. I mean, we want to offer the best that all of Vermont has to offer, but how great is it that somebody who lives in Rutland City can buy flour that was grown in Rutland?
Right.
That's so that's great. And so we are in conversations with some outdoor flower. There's definitely a big market for Vermont sun and soil grown flower. So that's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, in addition, we've obviously spoken with Hybrix Vermont. They've got some great products. They've got some great knowledge and have grown out of state in the main legal market as well. And so, there's some, I mean, just to see, and like Ana said, I've talked to, just from the insurance angle, probably 60 to 70 cultivators, manufacturers, et cetera, on top of the networking events, and just to see some of the ingenuity that some of these folks have and the great product offerings that they're putting out there it's really exciting. As Ana mentioned, where we're falling short, or where we're kind of hitting a wall is trying to find products from Rutland County. So if anybody's listening and watching from Rutland County, reach out to Mountain Girl Cannabis.
Yes.
We want to really represent Rutland City well.
Cool. Yeah, respect, man. I don't know. My guy's down there, he does seeds. I know he's not super close to Rutland, but Brandon, I know it's somewhere down there.
Yeah. Brandon's really close.
Yeah.
And actually the first social equity cultivator that got licensed was in Brandon.
Yeah. I'm trying to get them to come on.
I haven't been successful. I've reached out just to congratulate them, but haven't been successful yet.
Cool. Well, Olin Schumacher's down there and he does seeds, and he was a super smart guy that I had on. Might be someone that's Few True Seeds is what he's called.
Okay, great.
If you don't know him, I'd reach out. He's a great guy.
Nice.
Anyway, I wanted to ask you too, Ana, about what is this? Medi Maple.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. yes, other great people like Family Tree and Maple Jane, but Medi Maple, yes, her maple syrup is awesome. Would love to connect more with some of these manufacturers, but that's definitely a great product. It's amazing tasting maple syrup that you don't even know has some good cannabis properties in it. But those are the kinds of products that we're looking to offer
Right.
in our store. You know, flower is primarily what's going to be the biggest demand, but there's a lot of canna curious individuals that may not want to smoke. So having something like maple syrup, but they can put it on their pancakes or coffee and get the therapeutic effects of cannabis. We are, like Josh said, very excited to be offering a lot of these things to people.
And a lot of we love the maple products. I mean, being in Rutland City, we obviously have a lot of Killington traffic. You know, a lot of tourism coming from other states. And as you know, I mean, craft maple is huge.
I'm a bartender. I know all the tricks.
Yeah. So for us, I mean, you know, them and obviously Maple Jane is actually over in our neck of the woods here in Dorset, Vermont. And she makes some really great maple candies that we've been.
She's sweet. She sent me some.
Nice. Great. Yeah. Did she send you the heavy hitters or what?
She said I got a couple of JVs and varsities.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
That's the
the
strong stuff. Yeah.
Some stickers, some fridge magnets. Yeah,
nice.
She's super nice.
Yeah, but the Vermont craft products, you know, like maybe offering like cheese or kombucha. We would love to offer all these things that very creative ways.
I've been waiting for the cheese infusions. I'm like, when is that coming?
It's bound to happen.
Yes.
What about tell me about your connection with Haze Glass?
Okay, yes, we love Haze Glass. We have known Chris Hayes, who blows his own glass, for a really long time. You know,
mainly his wife
10
Danielle.
years, and his wife Danielle. You know, we go way back. We've partied with them in our early 20s, but they've had a shop for 21 years. They just celebrated their 21 years, so we're really excited to be partnering with them because we don't have our own location yet, but we want to spread the word out, especially in Rutland. You know, we want to be in Rutland telling people that we're coming. So this is a great partnership that we have where we're able to showcase some of our products and give out free samples to people who just come to the shop and hang out with us. So that's great. We are excited that we'll be carrying some of their glass as well.
So they have a studio down there somewhere.
Yes, they have a glass shop, and you know, right at their, I think the second floor of their store is the glass shop. So they hand blow in Rutland. So that's pretty cool.
Another family run business as well. You know, husband and wife, they've got a daughter slightly younger than ours, and it's just cool to see how, you know, they've come along just the same way that we have, you know, kind of together parallel.
Yeah, and I talked to Tito Byrne too up in Burlington, which seems like a very similar operation.
Yeah.
Great guy. Also, boy, so many nice people I'm meeting here. Ana, I also want to ask you, I saw some turmeric juice on your page, and I want to know where I could get that.
The turmeric, I think I got it at one of those TJ Maxx stores or something. I love turmeric, like anything anti-inflammatory. You go to TJ's and you get turmeric juice. But
or a pair of sandals.
Yes,
you know.
That's not what I was expecting to hear.
Go to how about a co-op or something?
Food co-op.
Yeah.
Well, I actually love to use fresh turmeric too in recipes and or local food co-ops. Like in Rutland, I've gotten like the fresh turmeric root there. And yeah, turmeric is a great, you know, just anti-inflammatory, and like it balances. And I think there's like an Indian recipe that, like an older one, where you do the golden milk and you infuse it with cannabis. There's a name, I should probably know it, but yeah, it's a very very old recipe. So mixing cannabis with turmeric, it's not new.
I had psoriatic arthritis, and I've been looking for things to help cool the inflammation down, and the edibles certainly help, and I know turmeric and ginger and things like that really help. So and garlic, I just load up on all that.
I suffer from psoriasis, and Ana, you know, is always sneaking anti-inflammatory things into my food as well.
Does it help? Have you noticed a difference? Because
Yeah.
that's how I first started with psoriasis. When I was 12 or 13, I started noticing it. And they say about 30% of people will go on to develop psoriatic arthritis, which is what happened when I turned about 34, maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
Have you noticed any difference? Like, does it help you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, that with a heavy dose of sunshine is good, and just kind of slimming down some of the, the things that you put in your body, like bread and, refined sugars and fried food and stuff. There
Alcohol,
you go.
yeah.
Alcohol, that's another one. Yeah. I mean, it's
My day off. I'm sorry.
It's hard to resist or avoid, but everything in moderation, right?
Even moderation.
Now, you guys, I assume, are cannabis users, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I seen you smoking a big joint in a video on it. What is your preferred method of intake for each of you?
I'm a flexitarian, I think, just in life, but I think one of my I like smoking because you get an instant effect. But I like to pair it with edibles, so I will have an edible and smoke a joint, and I'm good for the day.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I think smoking is probably still the way to go for me, but I've been experimenting with, extracts like the vape carts and things of that nature, which are nice. It all depends on the venue, right? If you're going to a show now, you can bring your pen with you,
Yes, that is nice.
or otherwise. So, it all depends on the venue, but I like to, low dose, like evenly, so that I don't get, beyond recovery, so to speak.
Yeah.
For me, I'm a cerebral person. I'm always in my head. So if I take like a heavy, edible, then I live up here, and I don't, it's not my favorite place to be sometimes. So
Yeah. Can confirm.
Yep.
All right. Hey, it looks like you also had maybe a line of skincare products featured there, some kind of salves or something.
Yeah, so I experiment in the kitchen a lot with both, food, edibles, as well as skincare. I think eventually we will do a manufacturing line, and but I primarily make them for us and to give them as gifts to friends. But speaking of psoriasis, Josh also uses the balm that I make. I infuse shea butter and add it with hemp oil and whip it up, and it's very luxurious, and I use essential oils. So
one of the things that makes her great is that she's always looking for ways to help me and make me better. So so and she knows that my skin is like so sensitive to any kind of fragrance or alcohol on the skin or anything like that. So she's always making me something that helps, and I've never been in pain from a topical she's given me. So
is this why you're doing these olive oil sort of infusions, Ana? Is that for skincare?
Yes, I mean, honestly, I think I'm a student of life, and anytime I immerse myself in a subject, I just want to try it. It doesn't mean that that's kind of where I'm gonna head and specialize in, but I do like to experiment a lot with making my own stuff, like, from my own food to skincare. I'm all about going as natural as possible. Skincare today is not friendly to our skin, to our environment, and I try to do a lot of DIY stuff. And I'm getting good feedback. I mean, I've made a trail mix just because all I saw was candy, and candy's great, but it might not be a good choice for people who have like high blood sugar, or they just can't handle sugar well. So I wanted to experiment with savory things, and I made a trail mix that people like. I got good feedback. I've been giving it away to people who are going through cancer treatments because it helps with their nausea. And it's like playing around but doing something helpful to others, and scratch your own itch, like Josh said, help him and learn.
Now, you said you've given this to cancer patients. What kind of feedback have you gotten from these cancer patients?
Well, so I a specific lady said that my trail mix was the only thing that helped with her nausea, because it was the right dose where it wasn't high dose. She was still able to function, but the nausea was kind of taken care of. So those kinds of hearing those things helps me want to do it. I like to try things, but I don't necessarily stick with them. I just kind of want to do things so that I can say that I've tried them. But when I hear something like this, it encourages me to continue to make it, and maybe it can help a lot more people.
Hmm. And the last thing I want to chop this up and do another bit about the insurance, maybe some banking questions, but
Sure.
I thought we'd ease into it because I also saw you were making some lion's mane mushroom tea with cannabis honey, and
Oh,
that piqued my interest right there. Tell me about that a little bit.
well, so I do take some supplements, including mushrooms. I do like mushrooms a lot. They're adaptogenic, if that's the word. So they help your body. And lion's mane is really good. It's really good brain, like for your brain and for cognitive, So lion's mane is my go-to when I have to focus on work and get things done. We do cordyceps for days when we're going to be really active, or like reishi when I'm kind of stressed and I want to calm down. So I have a cabinet full of shrooms and herbs that I take depending on what I need. And this is great. I love to mix it with coffee, and then we make our own honey where we infuse coconut oil and then we blend it with honey. So it's to add to your coffee, your tea. We look for ways to sneak in like nutrition and supplements and everyday things like in your coffee.
Sounds like you guys are a bunch of tree hugging hippies. I like it.
Yes.
All right, look, I'm going to chop this up and we're going to come right back with the second part and talk about maybe a little bit of the business end of this thing. Does that sound good?
That's great.
Absolutely.
All right, perfect.